Now a story that might make you angry. We discovered some Connecticut drivers who've been charged with DUI over and over again. One person arrested at least a half dozen times.
A local attorney who specializes in these cases says everybody deserves a defense. This story comes at a time when lawmakers are deciding if the state should have a lower DUI limit. News 8 investigative reporter Jeff Dedarian has the exclusive story.
Sometimes one story leads you to another. Our recent News 8 investigation into possibly lowering the state's DUI limit did just that.
People deserve second and sometimes, third or fourth chances.
How about someone with 8, we did say 8 prior DUIs, and having a DUI reduced down to a first offense? Attorney Jonathan Sills out of Hartford knows his way around drunk driving cases. He's had about 3,000 of them. Represents people with multiple offenses. And we learned he advertises his success stories on his website and with ads on Google and Facebook. Some others we saw: not guilty in a 5th DUI offense, jury trial. Not guilty and no loss of license, 4th offense, felony DUI, jury trial. Not guilty, 3rd offense, felony DUI, jury trial. And the list goes on.
On that particular page, I think there are 4 or 5 references to not guilty verdicts, which have all occurred after a jury trial, which means that a jury was selected both by the defense and the state to hear the case. The jury heard all of the evidence in the case, and the jury determined that the person was not guilty of DUI.
What's your response to anybody who says, why would somebody be defending someone that has 8 prior DUIs, 5th offense DUI, 4th offense not guilty, no license suspension?
The person is always entitled to a defense, and it gets back to my point before. We don't want to put innocent people in jail.
Sills says very clearly he's never for drunk driving, but he says the Constitution provides that everyone gets their day in court, no matter how many DUIs. Sometimes, he adds, the government doesn't do its job proving a case. And that phrase, he says, as old as time, applies beyond a reasonable doubt. Stephen Panis of Southport, part of our lowering the DUI limit story, sees it a lot differently. His son Jake, just 16 years old when he died. Stephen was just devastated.
A day doesn't go by that you just don't think about him?
10,000 times a day.
Connecticut's Mothers Against Drunk Driving says yes, everybody is entitled to a defense. But their problem is this. They say every 3 days in the state, one person is killed by a drunk driver. And they argue habitual offenders should not be on the road.
It's all about the promotion of this, where it's insensitive to families and victims across the country, basically, and in this case, across Connecticut.
Bob Gargiulo from Connecticut MAD says the attorney's ads and website minimize the rippling, devastating effects drunk driving has on families in Connecticut. Sills says he does try to point problem people in the right direction to get help, but he also says he's not a social worker or a therapist. And there's this.
I can tell you that an individual who's previously been convicted of DUI twice and then is convicted again within a 10-year period, a motor vehicle will permanently revoke that person's license.
If someone had 10 DUIs, 12 DUIs, 15 DUIs, and they come through the door here, where you would not take their case?
No. I do feel that everyone's entitled to a defense.
8 times is unimaginable. I can't even imagine how that person is still able to drive.
Yet another controversial topic swirling around the issue of drunk driving as lawmakers at the Capitol get ready to decide if lowering the limit gets a pass or hits the brakes. Jeff Dedarian, News 8.
Attorney Sills says any first-time offender convicted in Connecticut does lose their license for 45 days and has to breathe into a device to start their car for a year. Do you have a story you'd like us to investigate? We'd love to hear about it. You can just email your story to investigate@WTNH.com.